There are many factors that contributed to the world's global warming. In this video, we are just going to talk about the three main factors that cause global warming. First is called the greenhouse effect, second is called the albedo effect, and last is carbon dioxide. As you may have been wondering, what is the greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect is basically something that traps more light. The science behind the greenhouse effect is actually pretty complicated. The greenhouse effect shows that the short wavelengths of a visible light from the sun could pass through a medium in the atmosphere, which is usually absorbed. Meanwhile, longer wavelengths like infrared radiation from heated objects could not pass through that medium. To make it easier to understand, the science behind the greenhouse effect could be seen in one's daily basis. In a transportation like a car, you will usually encounter your car being hot when you leave it outside in an open space. The longer infrared radiation that is radiated from the sun warm the object. However, this will only warm the interior of the vehicle. Instead of letting the infrared go through the window, the light ray is trapped. Meanwhile, the shorter wavelengths of the visible light would go through the window. This is why the exterior of a car is usually not as hot as the interior of the car. So you may be wondering, how could the greenhouse effect contribute to the global warming? Well, the greenhouse effect is contributing to the global warming because first, it had caused the sea level to rise. Second, a rising in global temperature can be seen, and warming in the oceans. From the sun down to the earth, we can see that the sun ray has to go through a layer of atmosphere before actually entering the earth. As they are absorbed, they will heat up the oceans and etc., which they will release heat in the form of infrared radiation, which passes out of the atmosphere and into the space. The greenhouse gases, which acts like a blanket, absorbs the infrared radiation, preventing it to escape to the outer space. As a result, the Earth's atmosphere is gradually heating, which is known as global warming. This shows that the extension in the Arctic Sea is decreased over time. While around in 1980 it's about 16.5, in 2014 it's about 14.5. Second is the albedo effect. As being mentioned that the Earth's radiation is reflected back, this is related to the albedo effect. Applying albedo to real life, you could see it through people that live in a tropical place or during summer. People who live in hot places have the tendency to wear white t-shirt comparing to black t-shirt. This is because white-colored shirt will keep them cooler compared to black, since black surface reflect less light. Similarly, the Earth also works the same way. The snow, ice, and other light-colored things reflect a lot of sun's energy back to the space. On the other hand, Earth also consists of dark-colored surfaces like oceans and forests. As Earth's surface is 71% water, it helps to keep the Earth warm because of its dark color that absorbs a lot of heat. As a result, the warming increases water vapor, causing humans to not freeze to death during winter. Additionally, the Earth also consists of clouds, which contribute to the cooling effect in the albedo as they reflect light. However, also contribute to the Earth's warming as they consist of water vapor that keeps heat. Human interaction in this world caused the cooling effect in the albedo to be lessened. As a result, the Earth is warming up too much. Albedo's impact on the global warming can be seen significantly these days. The Arctic sea ice has been increasing by 1% every year. Nearly all ice on the planet is melting. This is resulted because of the Earth that keeps heating up, causing ice to melt. As a result, the wet surface in the Earth's surface keeps on decreasing, causing less energy to be reflected into the space. Thus, the Earth will warm up even more. The example of the ice melting actually isn't caused by the albedo only. There are actually many other factors that affect it as well. As an example would be man-made carbon dioxide in the atmosphere warms up the surface. As a result, humidity increases, causing more ice to melt. This shows that the global temperature increases as the amount of carbon dioxide emitted increases. Lastly, carbon dioxide. It is said that global warming is primarily a problem of having too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is caused because of burning in fossil fuel like coal, oil, gas, burned forests, and etc. CO2 remains in the atmosphere longer than other trapping gases. This is emitted as a result of constant human activity such as from activities in industries and such. Although gases will eventually go away by its own, CO2 is a different case. It's predicted that the amount of CO2 present today, 20% of it will still be in the Earth's atmosphere 800 years from now. As the human being's activity keeps on increasing or stay the same by year, the energy emitted to the Earth's surface once again work like a blanket surrounding the Earth, keeping the temperatures within range so that Earth won't be too cold to sustain life. The result of emitting CO2 too much are accumulating in the atmosphere. As a result, the blanket that is surrounding the Earth is getting too thick, causing the Earth to overheat since the radiation absorbed by Earth aren't able to escape the space. This graph shows that the solar power in ice and snow decreases over time. In other words, showing that the ice and snow are decreasing every year.